Hey everyone, Ben here, Keep It Stupid Archery. What I'm doing today is a little bit of servicing on my Bear approach. So I'm going to actually change out the split cable because on these single cam bows, where the draw stock hits the cable here, you end up with a lot of serving separation there. This bow is a 2018 model, filming this in 2020, so it's 2 years old. I'm the second owner of this bow and it has shot a lot of arrows, thousands of arrows, so the strings actually held up pretty okay considering how aggressive they are on these cables. So changing it out today, and I've got a new cable from Big Fella Bowstrings. Now the shooting cable is okay, so I'm leaving it on, but while I'm going I'm actually going to change out the peep sight on the shooting string. So first thing we're going to do to change out this cable is back out the limb bolts a little bit. So I'm going to do probably 4 turns. Alright. Now measure it just really simply. It's at 90 degrees here. So that's 1 turn. Come to the other side. Look at that. Pretty well bang on 90 degrees like that too. So not a full turn there. 1, 2, okay. Back this one out. Full turn. We're alternating these as we go. 1 turn each side. That's 2 turns each side. Three turns. And 3 turns there. Hang on. Okay, back to it. We're up to 3 turns each side, so I'm going to do 1 more. Okay, so I also have to take my little connector thing there off for the QAD rest. I've got a drop weight rest on there. That has to get loosened off. I'll just take it off completely, I think. Phillips head screwdriver. That one will do. And I don't actually have a screwdriver up here, so get a bit creative. Yeah. Just for my timing on this one, I've actually, so this cable kind of lies up with the E on the Bear logo here, so that's round about where I put it to try and get the timing back on when I put it back together. These rests, they've got like a little washer, little nut there. It's easy for that to come and get lost, so I'll sit that aside while it's back together. Alright, so now I'm going to put it in the bow press. I've got a Bowmaster portable press, so I'm going to flip this over. Hopefully this will all go good. If you haven't used the Bowmaster press before, they're pretty good option if you don't have access to a full bow press like an X press or whatever. These do the job really quite well, and they are day and night as far as the price goes. I bought this one for $50. Okay, so let's tighten this up. So if you haven't seen one of these before, I'll just flip it over in a sec and show you. Just got to make sure that the limb hooks are on the limbs nicely. Get them on there nice and straight and square. Okay, so I'll just hold this up now. I've got that on there. It's got a bit of tension on it so it won't come off. So pretty well, you got limb hooks that go on there. and this cable that goes through this pulley system in the middle, and then another limb hook there, and then it's just got a little handle here, and you tighten it up and it'll press your limbs down, take tension off the string and the cables, so you can do all the servicing you need to do on there. That's nice and loose now, so what I'm going to do first is change out the peak, I think, and I need to get a craft knife to cut the serving string off there. I'll be back. Alright, so normally we don't put sharp stuff near our bowstrings, but for obvious reasons it's a no-brainer, but to get this serving, hold it up there. So I've got to cut off those, I've got to get this old serving string off here and here, and there's a little serving string around there, I've got to get that off as well. So we'll get that off. So I'm actually doing that on the peep side itself, and I'm cutting away from the string. Almost there. That's that bit. This is going to take a while. I'll pause the video and I'll come back on when it's done. Alright, so I got the peep out. I popped the other peep straight back in without letting the string sort of come back together or anything like that. So it went back in the same spot. I'm not going to get any peep twist or anything there because it was already set really well. So popped it out, straight back in, same spot, and we're not going to run into any troubles. I just changed it for a ever so slightly bigger peep because I've got a bigger sight housing on there and I couldn't really see what was going on there. So now I'm just going to grab maybe a foot maybe of serving string, and rather than cutting my serving string, I like to just sort of melt it off, break it like that so that you don't get fraying on either end. Get rid of that one. I'll change the camera angle here so we can see what's going on. So yeah, as you can see, I've taken the, I've got that bottom serving string off, and I'll do a quick demo on how to put that on, how to put a new one on there in a sec. First things first, I'm going to tie in the new peep. Super simple, so it's on this angle so that when you pull back it's just going to straighten up for you and you're going to see it nicely, get a good visual on it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go on this side, and just like a I think it's a square knot or a reef knot, people call it, just like on one of those, I'm going to go left over right there. Oh, sorry, get a better picture on there. So I go left strand over the right strand, 5 fingers. Okay, and I'll pull it through, but I'll pull it through a second time so it gets like 3 little crossovers there. Whoop. Cinch it down onto that peep there, really tight, really crank down on it like that. Same thing on the back side. I'll go right over left, put it through again, and I'll crank it down there, nice and tight, crank it. There's heaps of cool ways to tie peeps. This is just a nice easy way to do it. So back to here, left over right, put it through twice, crank it down, and then I'm going to go right over left, put it through twice, crank it down. That's in there tight. Peep's never going to come out like that. It will never come out if it's tied in that way. And then you just do the serving top and bottom to kind of cinch it up so that it doesn't slide up and down. Easy peasy. Alright, now as far as this string, keep if you're using a lighter to cut your string, keep it going up, away from the string. Don't put the string above the flame. You're just asking for trouble. Don't do it. It's got to be, make that tight. John Dudley says, pull it so tight that it almost makes your fingers bleed. Okay, so the flame's going up and away from my string there. Okay, so that one, nylon string, it really burns if it gets on you. Okay, so flame above that string again. Okay, got a little bead, little ball on there. Not that down. Cool. Same on this one. Okay. Cool. Alright, so I've still got the old serving on here. I don't know how it was tied on because it's like weird. You can see I move a section of it away like that. You shouldn't be able to do that. I do not know how that was tied on there. Super strange, however it was done. So I'm going to tie it up. I'm going to give you an example of how I tie in a peep. I'll do it on the bottom, then I'll turn the camera off and I'll do it on the top because I don't want this video to be too long and I've still got to change out the cable. Alright, so same as when I tied the peep in, I'm going to go left over right. Sorry, I'll get it down here. I'm going to go left over right, loop it through that gap twice, pull it down, crank it nice and tight. Okay, then on the other side, that's right over left, put it through twice, and then crank it down. You go like one loop past that one. Alright, easy. Now, left over right, loop through twice. And then it goes on this side of that knot. So when you pull it up like that, so it pulls up tight against the knot you just did before. Like that. Then we'll come onto the other side of the knot. Yeah, and then right over left. Loop it through twice. Same. Oh. So same again, it goes on that side of the previous knot, pull it down, crank it up. Kids are playing a game in the background there, so that's what that noise is going on there. Do one more. Left over right. Through that gap twice. On that side of the knot, crank it down. Cool. I'm going to continue that until I've got like maybe half an inch down there. It's nice and tight, it's stopping that string from twisting. So yeah, crank it down. I'm going to turn the video off, keep going, I'll show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so I've run that serving out about half an inch. So now I'm just going to finish it off. So, go left over right, same knot. Lock it down. And then I'm going to go again on the same side, right over left. loop it through twice. Lock it down really tight. Pull it down, like crank it down to your fingers hurt, and then that's pretty good. Same deal. Cut that with the lighter. Just glue it down with that little extra bit of serving there that when you melt it. Same again. Okay. Close up look at that. So that's the new one. That's the new one. Nice and neat, tight all the way through. That one still has to come off and get redone. Alright, so I'm going to do that off camera. Alright, so new peep is tied in.
What?
Just going to crank this press down a bit more. Get a bit more flex in the limbs, and then I'm going to get that cable off. Change it out to the new cable.
And I will play the two Legos.
Okay, so we can get those off.
Finally, I opened one of them. I opened it small bit. You can just put them back on over the moon.
One comes off the back peg here.
I'll probably just sing the songs anyways.
I can get it off the hook there.
Over the moon. Where's the teddy?
Okay, got it.
I love doing this.
Get that one out of there.
And these. This nice colour.
And goes the new one. Put that onto the back peg, put it through here.
So can we press it down?
And then I'm trying to get this string and cable on there with no stretch.
Push it down.
So I'm just going to pass through the back of my cable slider.
And then you so you take the outside off. Have a little tape there.
Run my fingers across it to
And if that doesn't work,
get all the twists out.
then take it out. It's a squish. You're going to have to try it again.
Load it up.
I am making something else.
Okay, so putting on without any twist,
Are you mixing the colours?
so that
Don't mix them.
if we find that it's got any cam lean or any sort of tuning issues like that, we can then go and add and take away twists into the cable so that we can tune that up.
And I'm just playing the two Legos.
Well, now I'm just going to get a bit of wax out of there. The wax built up on the cable slider, so I'll get that out there. Pretty nasty, can't notice how long it's been there. Long time probably. Okay, so cable's on. Super, that didn't take long at all, like really quick. Check it all. Yep. Yep, that's all in place. My shooting string's all in place. Now I'm going
Don't
to take
forget to subscribe.
Don't forget, come back and say that. Look at the camera and say crash down.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, Ellie. Yeah. Alright, so now I'm just going to take the bow press off. Hopefully nothing goes bang. I'm making a video for my YouTube channel. Say hello.
Hello.
It's a YouTube channel about bow and arrows, Kobe. Your favourite.
I'll make the sounds and stuff.
You make the sounds with you. Thanks. Alright, so
Start the little help.
cool. Bow press is off. Bow's still intact, and I've got. Ah no! I made a mistake there.
Can you make a tape for my clip?
across the across the string over on the wrong side. You have to press it down to fix that. Yeah, so I won't do it on camera. I'm just going to press it down. I'm going to take it off the bottom peg on the bottom cam, put it underneath the shooting string. Because there's a single cam, there's only the split cable and the shooting string. So I'm going to take this off, put it underneath the shooting string, put it all back together.
And they can be honest.
And then so I've got my peep sight that I tied in there. Then I've got to reattach my cord for my QAD rest there. I'll attach that back on. Like I said, I made a little reference so it'll go on sort of in line with the E on the Bear Archery logo. So it's going to go on about there. I won't crank it down tight. I'll just check the timing and then fix it all up. Cool. Okay. Alright, so bow's all back together, ready to rock and roll. I noticed there's a little bit of rust on one of my set screws here that holds my quiver on, so I took that out while I was just servicing things and gave it a little bit of oil. Put that one back in. I'll show you what I've done. Alright, so we've changed out the peep and reserved it. That's looking nice. Changed out the split cable and reattached my QAD timing cable there. So that should work pretty well. I'm going to go downstairs, wax this string and have a couple of shots and we'll just see what it does. So that's that. Just quickly, this is why I changed out the cable. You can see all that serving separation there, which is really typical with standard strings. Yeah, well, you can focus on that. That's super typical with standard strings on Bear compound bows, especially single cam bows like this approach. So that's what's going on there. That's why we had to change that out. It just looked nasty. It had done thousands of shots and it held up alright, but it was time for it to go. So that's done. The rest of the cable looks pretty good, but yeah, for whatever reason, when the cam stop or the timing stop hits that, it just rips it apart. So that's all fixed up now, and yeah, I'm going to go down and shoot it, and we'll see how it goes. Squish.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe, but
Woof.